You ever have one of those mornings where you wake up, stretch, grab your coffee, and then realize the HOA is literally trying to tow your truck out of your own garage? Yeah, that happened to me. Their reason? Trucks ruin the neighborhood aesthetic. So, I did what any halfway sane person would do. I locked the door, called the sheriff, and settled in for the showdown. But man, you wouldn't believe how wild it got. Let me back up a sec, because this whole circus deserves the full story. It started just after 7 on a soggy Tuesday. I'm standing in my kitchen, lights off, nursing the first cup of the day, when I hear it. Metal scraping, not the good kind. I peek through the blinds, and there it is, a tow truck, engine idling at the foot of my driveway, and next to it, the queen herself. Mildred Bishop, HOA president, clipboard locked and loaded. She's in her battle uniform, beige pantsuit, helmet hair, the whole "don't mess with me" vibe. She doesn't even bother ringing the bell, just shouts from the curb, "Open this garage right now." I locked the door tighter, picked up my phone, and called the sheriff's department. The whole house felt like it was holding its breath. Just me, the hum of the fridge, and the distant threat of my dad's old F-150 about to get fished out of its cave. Now, I love that truck. My dad and I rebuilt the thing years ago. It's blue, a little rusty, still smells like his aftershave, my one stubborn piece of the past that isn't for sale or negotiation. And I kept it right where it belonged, behind a closed, locked garage door. But here's this tow driver, greasy jumpsuit and all, unspooling a hook, trying to slide it under the garage door while Mildred directs traffic like she's storming Omaha Beach. I click the doorbell mic. "Morning, Mildred. That hook touches my door. You're buying me a new one." She doesn't blink, just says something about emergency abatement. Right. Emergency is for fires, not feelings. Even the tow driver nearly laughed. But this wasn't some normal HOA muscle move. This was a full-on attempt to drag my 3,500-pound truck through an insulated door. I watched the feed, stunned by the sheer gall, and honestly, my brain was racing. Yell? Run out there? Call my buddy Leo and ask if this counts as legally insane? In the end, I topped off my coffee, turned off every light, and just listened. I heard them muttering outside, driver grumbling about not getting a grip, Mildred sounding more and more like a furious velociraptor. So, I did what my dad taught me, flipped the red lever, disengaged the garage door opener, and dropped the steel deadbolt into the floor. The thunk it made. Let me tell you, that sound was the highlight of my morning. Everything outside went silent. I pictured them, eyes wide, wondering what just happened. After a minute, I called the sheriff's office, gave them the lowdown. "Hi, my name's Nate. There's a woman in a tow truck trying to take my vehicle from inside my locked garage." The dispatcher paused, just long enough that I had to repeat it. "Is the vehicle in violation of any ordinance?" she asked. "Not unless my garage is now a public street." She snorted, said a patrol was nearby, and to not confront them. "Copy that. I'm allergic to felonies." Sheriff Brody showed up minutes later. "Guy's got this, I've seen it all, look," which, judging from the situation, might actually be true. Mildred goes straight into her routine. Community standards, emergency orders, property values, the works. Brody listens, totally unreadable, then finally shakes his head. Garage counts as inside the house. No court order, no entry. He glances at the tow driver, then looks at my house. I swear, it felt like he could see me through the camera, silently commiserating. Then he says something quiet to Mildred. Whatever it was, it turned her from warrior queen to steaming teakettle in about 2 seconds flat. The tow driver packed up in record time, and the truck rolled away, tail tucked. But Brody, as he left, looked me dead in the eye and said, "She's not going to let this go. People like her don't lose, they double down." Sure enough, next day, a fancy envelope with the HOA crest appears on my door. Official violation notice. My crime. Wind chimes. Bamboo. Gift from my mom, barely audible. According to Mildred, now a potential noise nuisance. 48 hours to take them down, or $50 a day. I stared at that letter, stepped outside, listened to the soft clack-clack in the breeze. Honestly, it was as offensive as a sleeping kitten. So I called Leo. He nearly choked laughing. "That's it. Suburban War. I'll print a 12-foot banner. Free HOA hugs." I groaned. "Please don't." Too late. I already bought glitter. But he's got a point. You don't back down from bullies. I bought more wind chimes, a steel one, a glass one, a crazy high-pitched one. My porch sounded like a magical disaster. That kicked off the next wave, newsletter warfare. Mildred's HOA bulletin came out for pages about property values and vehicle storage, all but naming me. So, I made my own River Raven reality check, celebrating Vehicle of the Month, my beat-up F-150. Satirical advice columns. I emailed it to the neighbors, and the response was gold. People were sick of Mildred's reign. Twist? Oh, I've got one for you. Caught her on my security cams late one night, creeping around my fence with a tape measure, trying to bust me for a fence height violation. Joke's on her. I built that thing with my dad, exactly 6 feet, just like the bylaws say. She realized it, got mad, kicked the post, and skittered off like a raccoon caught in a flashlight. But things started getting less funny. Certified letter lands on my desk, 5 pages, final warning and notice of intent to act, all in legalese. Claims my truck's inoperable, environmental hazard, 7 days, or they'll tow it and lien my house. It's got a fake gold seal, the works. I felt my hands shaking. This was a step up. Intimidation, plain and simple. And then, the power went out. Middle of a storm, house goes dead, and my security system along with it. I'm sitting in the dark, panic rising, thinking, this can't just be coincidence. But then, backup generator kicks in. My dad, 5 years gone, saved me again. The system came back online, cameras rolling. I scrubbed through the feed and spotted it. A plain white van parked 2 houses down, right before everything went dark. Not a utility van, just sitting there. So, I called Brody again. This time, he rolled up in his own pickup, sat in my kitchen, took his coffee black, and listened. I showed him the video, the van, the certified letter. He studied the gold seal. This is a bluff. County doesn't use this stuff. She's forged a document, trying to scare you. That's not civil, Nate. That's criminal. But we need her to cross a line, catch her red-handed. That's when we cooked up the plan. Decoy truck, undercover deputy, the whole 9 yards. Word got out that I was giving up and having the old Ford towed for scrap. Mildred couldn't resist. She showed up with 2 hired muscle, demanding entry, ordering them to break in, on camera, with a fake order in hand. Brody and the deputies swooped in just as her goons started ramming the garage door. They had everything on tape. Mildred ordering a break-in, signing the forged order, even trying to bluff her way out as they clicked the cuffs. For 72 hours, my house turned into command central. Brody, an assistant DA, and I built a case. Video of the first tow attempt, the fence tape measure escapade, every dumb violation, phone records tying Mildred to a PI and a suspicious blackout. Even financial records showing her brother-in-law's tow company had pocketed 40 grand in shady emergency abatement fees. Community meeting, packed house, everyone itching for the truth. Assistant DA ran the show, played the videos, showed the invoices, even zoomed in on Mildred prowling with her headlamp at 10 p.m. People who'd always shrugged off HOA drama started seeing it for what it was. The vote to remove Mildred as president? Nearly unanimous. Then they canned her 2 cronies, wiped every bogus fine off the books, and liquidated her personal slush fund to start a community tool library. Seriously, the whole vibe changed overnight. When it was all over, I walked home through a neighborhood that finally felt like, well, a neighborhood. Brody stood across the street, arms folded, just watching the garage. I rolled open the door, sat in the old Ford, fingers curled around the worn steering wheel, smelled the ghosts, turned the key. That V8 rumbled like it was laughing at everything that had happened. Neighbors started clapping. Not for me, not really. For the idea that you can stand up, that you don't have to let a bully win just because they've got a clipboard. Months passed, autumn rolled in, Mildred moved out, and peace, real peace, settled in. And you know, that's the thing about justice. Sometimes it's loud and dramatic, but mostly, it's just a quiet street, a dented garage door, and the sound of an old truck coming back to life. So, tell me, when do you think you should stand your ground? And where's the line between keeping the peace and fighting for what's right? Drop your own HOA war stories, or just your thoughts, in the comments. I've got a feeling this neighborhood isn't the only one with secrets. And hey, if you believe a little kindness can actually win, stick around. The real world needs more of that.